Now, you said in this that two things that you wonder about. One, did all the people do the same thing? Did they keep their letters? Did they have their letters? Did they write these letters? Right? That's one of the things you're worried about. And the other thing you're concerned about is where are all those who helped you?
Well, I just remember that I basically responded to a level of correspondence. And the letters I got were as good and sometimes better than the ones I sent back out. I guess it was a challenge. It didn't seem like it at the time. That was the way we were accustomed to communicating with each other. Now, I don't know if we came out of some strange cocoon in Louisville. You know,
Our birthplace.
Yours too?
No, I'm in North Carolina.
Oh, I thought so. Yeah. I didn't see the historic degenerate sag in your eyes that you get from Louisville.
Yeah, right.
But
Diane Sawyer is either from Louisville or Lexington, one of the two.
There is a weird Kentucky strain here.
Yeah.
You know, and the Carolina strain, oddly enough, most of the settlement in the country moved westward on these very horizontal lines. Like, I know most of my ancestors are from Virginia. And Virginia moved to Kentucky.
And then further west.
And then you get the Carolinas, go very specifically through Tennessee, then into Arkansas.
Go over the Grand Smokies.
No, you're all the way across the Mississippi.
Right.
Like in the north, Wyoming and Colorado are very different states because they were settled differently. Germans settled in a horizontal line out to Wyoming, and Scandinavians above them. You know, wild people, freebooters settled Colorado.
Let me read some of these letters because we're talking about them so much that I'm going to just take a bite out of this one. A sad day, November 22nd, 1963, Woody Creek. I am tired enough to sleep here in this chair, but I have to be in town at 8:30 when Western Union opens, so what the hell? Besides, I'm afraid to sleep for fear of what I might learn when I wake up. There is no human being within 500 miles to whom I can communicate anything, much less the fear and loathing that is on me after today's murder. God knows I might go mad for lack of talk. I have become like a psychotic sphinx. I want to kill because I can't talk. I suppose you will say, this is to William Kennedy, the rotten murderer has no meaning.
Rotten murder?
The rotten murder has no meaning for a true writer of fiction, and that the real artists in the little magazines are above such temporal things. I wish I could agree, but in fact I think that what happened today is far more meaningful than the entire contents of the little magazines for the past 20 years. And the next 20, if we get that far.
Magazines we're talking about.
Right. We now enter the era of the train. Neither your children nor mine will ever be able to grasp what Gatsby was after. No more of that. You misunderstood it, of course, peeling back only the first and most obvious layer. Take your realism to the garbage dump or the little magazines. They're like a man who goes into a phone booth to pull his pod. Nada, nada. The killing has put me in a state of shock. The rage is trebled. I was not prepared at this time for the death of hope, but here it is. Ignore it at your peril. I have written Seminin, that cheap bookstore Marxist, that he had better tell his boys to buy bullets and forget the dialectic. This is the end of reason, the dirtiest hour in our time. I mean to come down from the hills and enter the fray. Tomorrow a cable job request to the reporter. Failing that, the observer. Beyond that, God knows, but it will have to be something. From now until the 1964 elections, every man with balls should be on the firing line. The boat will be the most critical in the history of man. No matter what, today is the end of an era. No more fair play. From now on, it is dirty pool and judo in the clinches. The savage nuts have shattered the great myth of American decency. They can count me in. I feel ready for a dirty game.
I was angry.